Just wait till Jasper's bright orange.
Look right at the camera, and, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Numbers Aren't Real podcast. Very special episode today. I'm joined by two of the members of Team Kinetic Energy Robotics. They've competed in various robot fighting events like BattleBots and Robot Wars and MechMania. And then recently in the Games of the Future tournament competition, where myself and Mauen were invited to go on with them and help out into the competition. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves and your robot?
Yeah, hi, I'm Daniel. I'm the captain of Team Kinetic Energy Robotics, and our robot is Jasper.
I'm Tony, I'm Daniel's dad, but also lead maintenance and design on the robot.
Yeah, and so the robot is called Jasper. We've got various Jasper parts on the table and around. Yeah, so can you guys start off by telling us about like Jasper's history and how you acquired Jasper? And
So Jasper originally was not our robot.
Mm-hmm.
Jasper originally built back in 2019 for, I believe, it was the 2019 season of BattleBots. Was that season 4 of the reboot? It was
season 5, I think.
Yeah, 4 or 5. I lose track. It was so long ago. But yeah, so they were built by Team Tomco Designs, which is team based, I think, in near London, Londonish.
Yeah, Tom Lloyd.
Yep. So basically, they've got a vast range of experience. They were on like Robot Wars reboot. Then he went over to China with a robot called Lieutenant Bab, which was like the predecessor to Jasper. And then they went to BattleBots. They designed Jasper for it. Unfortunately, it didn't do as well as it could have. And when it came back to the UK, he decided to throw it up on eBay. And guess who was looking at eBay when he decided to post that? Me. And after so long, me and my dad have been fans of Robot Wars, BattleBots, robot fighting in general. Been watching it for years going, we're going to get into this hobby. We're going to get into this. We're going to design a robot. And then the conversation gets shelved for 6 months. And then we bring it back of, we'll get it started now. Get it started now. And I was like, Dad, let's buy this heavyweight. And now it's sitting in the garage. We can't put it off any longer. So we bought it in 2019, went down to London, met Tom, brought Jasper back with us. It then sat in the garage for 3 years because of COVID, because the world shuts down, events don't exist. But then 2022, leave high school, turn 18, Robo Riots 2022 was our first event.
Yeah, in Ireland, Dublin in Ireland.
So Jasper's changed quite a lot since its BattleBots outing in 2019. When we got it back up to Scotland, we did do a bit of maintenance over the 3 years. First opening it up, figure out how it all works, because it was completely new to us both.
Yep.
As he's a mechanical engineer, so he knows what he's doing, but the robot fighting, it all has its own nuances, new skills to learn.
yeah, absolutely.
So first of all, opening up Jasper, we're like, right, strip it all down, see how it works, put it back together. Does it still work? No. One of the weapon motors went up in smoke immediately, and it was like, we got a lot to learn there. But we figured out it was not totally our fault. It was just damage from BattleBots.
Yeah.
So
we
then
did have bits that were missing, so that was a learning curve. Doing an S-Spec as well, putting it into the circuitry, just to get all the wiring right and understanding how everything's wired up, because it's the first proper foray into robot fighting.
Did you have like designs or blueprints from the team that designed it, or were you just kind of working?
No, we don't have the CAD or anything like that. That's still with Tom. So everything new for Jasper has been designed ourselves. Also, neither of us having a modern CAD software.
No.
Except Rhino CAD from 2003. Everything new on Jasper has either been just designed on the spot, or we've made cardboard mock-ups. So if you could call it CAD, it's still cardboard aided design.
Cardboard aided design, that's
and that's everything new has just come out of our garage. There's been no professional machining, unless you want to call your machining professional, which, you know what, it is. It's all hold up.
It's held
up very, very
There's
well.
There's nothing wrong with my machining. Thanks very much.
So, welding ain't bad too.
As you'll see later on, yes, some of the welds have held up quite well.
Did you, with the cardboard aided design, did you make like scale models, or
Oh
was
yeah,
it like
full
Yes.
1-to-1 scale.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. So that, I imagine, helped you to get an understanding of like how it gets put together and stuff like that as well.
Yep.
Yes, it certainly did. That and scale drawings as well,
Mhm.
doing hand drawn drawings that which basically took me back to my technical drawing days
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
long time ago.
Mhm.
Old school, pen, paper, rule,
Mhm.
compass. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you find doing this? How does it differ to like what you've done in your mechanical engineering degree?
It kind of follows on. You know, there's basic principles. You know, gearing, gearboxes, the chassis, the actual parts that go into the robot itself. The electronics was a little bit more interesting, a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Electronics was something certainly when I was at school a long time ago that I was really interested in electronics, and it really been given the opportunity to sort of get back into it a little bit and understand what goes where. This electronic speed controllers, one per motor as well, understanding what goes wrong with them sometimes, tweaking them and adjusting them. We've had a good bit of support from the robot community as well. A big shout out probably to James B. He was a huge amount of help trying to get the motors and the speed controllers to work properly together.
I mean, that's definitely one thing I noticed going to the Games of the Future competition is the community is so helpful and so nice, and I thought that was really quite heartwarming. I don't know if you.
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all very kind, very, accepting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very approachable.
Yeah.
I thought it was very nice since it's our first time in this robot community. I thought it was very nice.
We can say for doing this for going on 4 years now that the community is so nice.
Yeah.
It's like every event we've gone to, it's like if Jasper's had any issues, people have been like immediately just right. This is what we know. This is what we do.
Yeah.
You give input, and it's just so. It makes the hobby so much easier than it should be.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you think robot fighting, there's so many things that can go wrong. But then you're pitted next to a guy that's been doing it 20 years. And then he'll go, oh yeah, I saw that, like, no, this happened to me 10 years ago. And it's like, this is how I solved that. Or this is why I've done something different. Or keep going down that path. Just tweak this slightly and then you'll get there. So it's a very approachable community.
I noticed that every team helped each other with their robots.
Yeah.
Even when you're competing against each other.
Yeah.
You still try to get their input. Well, they give their input, try to help you with the
Everybody wants the robots to actually compete and fight. No one wants to see anybody want to struggle, to try and turn around a robot, particularly in a short time space between one fight and the next. What I've seen over the years, it's nice to give something back as well. We're finding that even us as a young team are able to assist other people as well at events. Whether it be lending of tools, which I take many, or lending of some parts as well, if folk are short of particular bolts.
You spent the last couple of events being a bolt dealer.
Yes, that and doing hot works as well, grinding. I didn't do any welding out in Abu Dhabi, but certainly there was plenty of, or wielding a sledgehammer. I quite happily do that, yes, to try and straighten something out for somebody. Yeah.
I mean, we especially saw that community thing when one of the teams, I think it was TR4, had some issue. I don't quite know what the issue was, but there were several teams.
Speed controller problem, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was a very tight time constraint as well.
Yes,
they had to get ready for the fight. There were several teams gathered around, helping out, giving advice. That was really nice to see, and they did get it working in the end. So
and working well.
Yeah, working well. Did they win that fight?
They certainly up against
Golden
Spark.
Fury. No, it's Golden Fury.
Ah, yes, for Golden
And
Fury.
that's actually a fight that perfectly shows kind of community in a way, where both robots are ready to go in. TR4 goes in, it has a speed controller issue. So then it's like, right guys, Golden Fury could take a free win there. But they don't.
Yeah.
And then Golden Fury then goes in, and they have their own speed controller issue where it goes full throttle into the wall and goes burst into flames. TR4 could have taken a very easy victory there, but they didn't. Fight gets pushed back to the next day. They have genuinely a really good fight.
Yes.
It was 2 minutes back and forth. TR4 took hits very, very well.
Yeah.
And then Golden Fury eventually scoring their knockout. And then deservingly marches on.
Yeah.
And then TR4, there's no shame in losing that way.
But their redemption fight was excellent for TR4. They got to show what a British flipper can actually do. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, there's a good point about the time the fight took, because the format was 3 minutes.
Yep.
And then it goes to judges. But I mean, most of the early fights we saw were over in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Very quick fights.
There was a lot of dialing in at that event. Like the first round fights, there was a lot of one hit knockouts.
Yeah.
And for the most case, it was a clear favourite going through. So say Godspeed or like Daddy or Cobalt and all that. Like big hit, big favourite. And it's like everyone that didn't perform as well as they could have in their first fight, you saw in their second fight come back, and those fights were going to 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then of course the robots that won, their opponents only got stronger as they went through the event.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any robot that manages to take part in an event like this has to have, a pretty good, ability to take hits as well as those that dish out the hits. The amount of force, even for a robot dishing out the blows, a lot of that force goes back through their own robot as well. So your design, whether or not you're sort of like a sportsman robot like Jasper is, and TR4 and Ignition, all robots, whether they're sportsmen or full combat, need to be able to ride those hits really well. Or even if it's not a weapon doing a blow, if you're getting flipped up in the air, it's the sudden coming down and crashing onto the arena floor or into an obstacle or a hazard, and you get the shock waves that travel throughout the robot.
All the real world physics that you can't test in CAD.
No.
Or you can't test it at home, especially with the spinners. You don't find out what's going to work or what could just fail. Even the most minuscule ways, tiny little failure can shut down a whole robot. But you're never going to know until you fire it up in the arena for the first time.
Of course.
And then, you learn. And then it's that tiny thing failed. Fix that for next time. Your robot can run perfect. Or it can be like with Jasper in our first fight ever. Robo Rise 2022, it goes really well. Go first round in there, first fight win, second fight follow that up with another win. Then we put the hammer back on, and then we debuted our lifter setup there for the first time, which definitely not refined as it is now, but it did the job. We then decided to put the hammer on for fighting some washing machines and fridges and all that,
which is all very good. It looked great.
Turns out that especially the gearboxes couldn't handle that anymore, and one side failed with a tiny little key.
A key and a keyway.
Tiny little key on the shaft.
Out the way.
Just slipped out.
Right.
So that took out one gearbox. Nothing was happening there.
I see.
Put all the load onto the other side, which then not only I think eventually took out the key on that side as well. But
it just overloaded it.
Yeah, there's all that just force backdrive into the SC.
Well, you got
it was not
14
happy.
kilos being flung around on the end of over 1 meter a distance from your fulcrum point, swinging that around, because it used to, when you did that, it would actually physically lift all of Jasper off the ground when it was swinging forward, or swinging back. The entire front end of Jasper would actually lift up.
There was a lot of what we did with the hammer that didn't cooperate with
No.
Jasper as we were upgrading. There's a reason we only go with the lifting arm now.
That certainly
It was a lesson learned.
helped you guide you down to the route of yes, we're a heavy duty lifting robot as opposed to a dead blow hammer robot, which was the original design intention from Tom.
I'm glad you brought up the Robo Rides. So how was that experience? It's like your first competition and pretty big, I assume?
I don't think it could have gone better, apart from if we won more, of course that would be better.
Yeah.
But we go in for our first fight, and Jasper just works. It's the arm, of course, was never going to be as good as it is now, but it did the job. It got some flips in. We won that fight quite comfortably, so that kind of set the ball rolling. Of right, we're on to something here with the lifter setup, our new forks. And then we go into fight 2. It's the same opponent again, so it was like, right, let's just take them out a bit more efficiently this time. So we do that. I think we go from winning by judges, by then winning by knockout.
Yep.
And then we then learn our lessons through putting the hammer on for the exhibition one. Which, to be fair, was a good learning experience in terms of, right, that's the end of the day. Jasper's weapon, at least half of it, is not working anymore. We have to make the decision of, can we strip this down within an evening, get either side of the weapon out and hopefully restore one half at least to working again.
Which
we did.
Which
we didn't think we would be able to.
Which was reassuring, because it's like going in for the first time for a first fight, or going into any competition the first time.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit of a while since we've had the robot working, or dismantled, or you put it back together, and you're never quite sure. You can do twitch testing. You can test the robot up on the bench where its wheels away from the ground, and you can try and operate the arm, which is all very well. Then you pack it up and you travel somewhere, and even just being in a van or on a ferry or on an airplane out far away to Abu Dhabi, anything can happen, as we've seen with a couple of the teams as well that arrived in Abu Dhabi, or teams that arrived at Dublin for Robo Riots, or any of the competitions that we were down in England. You can do as much testing as you like at home, or as little if you're a spinner, but when you travel and then you unpack, and it's always that nervous moment where you go, put the batteries in, does it work?
Hope nothing's shaking itself loose.
And hope nothing. And, you know, that's your first big hurdle. And the sense of relief that I had, certainly when we went to our first competition in Ireland, was when the robot actually drove from the gate, the door, over to its starting position.
Yeah.
And it actually worked. And the arm, and Daniel gave the arm a little twitch, which was good to see that the arm was going to go up and down. And then that was it. And then suddenly everything's just very real. This is happening now. Okay, right. And start the fight.
Yeah. That must have been a very satisfying moment, seeing it
Absolutely.
like, move as you're controlling
And it is, for again, one new experience into another. It's like, right, we've loaded the robot into the arena.
Yeah.
This is just like this TV show I watched like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's real now. There's an audience over there. There's people that I watched on Robot Wars.
Yeah.
Like standing like behind me watching the fight. And I'm like, right, please work. Don't go up in smoke. At least be slightly entertaining. It went well. It was as smooth an intro to the hobby as it could have been.
Other than, then prior to that, we were all standing around in a pub car park in Wolverhampton. And I was, I'll speak for myself, but I'll probably safely say for you, in all roboteers and robots that I'd seen in my younger days on Robot Wars, all lying around in a car park space. Yeah.
Is Jasper sat between?
And Jasper
it's sat between, I think, Hypnodisc and Immersion. And
Yeah,
Hypnodisc, a classic Robot Wars legend,
Yeah.
so recognizable, iconic. Immersion going off of, I think, like at that point, 2-time Irish champ.
Yeah.
It's one of the most dominant forces on like the UK live scene at the moment. And then there's just Jasper sat between there, which had at that point only been to BattleBots. It's halfway between our design and the original Tom Lloyd's design. And so it's got a hammer on it, but it's got our forks. It didn't have the lifting arm yet.
We didn't want to give away the game too much before we went to Ireland, before we had our first outing. But it's the people you meet. It's lovely getting to see the robots, but the people behind the teams. legendary people, you know, like Simon Harrison, like an absolute legend of the sport in the UK, and he's the reason why, you know, pretty much Robo Nerd was taking place. You know, he puts all the effort in for that, and it was nice to meet him. We got to chat with a lot of other Roboteers, introduce ourselves, you know, selves. It was a bit of a calling card before we went to Ireland. It piqued a little bit of interest. Some folk recognised the robots straight away. Oh, that's Jasper from BattleBots in 2019. Oh, that's a little bit different. Oh, what have you done there? You know, and like I say, that was Jasper's first outing, non-fighting.
Yep.
And then we had Robo-Rights in Dublin,
which was also my first time driving Jasper in
Properly.
a fight.
Yeah.
as opposed to
Apart
just
from
on the
driving
driveway.
up and down the driveway a couple of
Yeah.
times.
Which is what we were doing during lockdown and COVID. You know, that's when we did actually get to do a little bit of work on the robot, buy some parts that were needed or missing, and tinker around just to get it to drive, first of all.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, how much testing did you do before the Robo Rides event?
Yeah, there was like a couple evenings in the driveway or on the roads, just going right, full throttle it down the street, full throttle it back, just push it to make sure when it does get up to top speed it just doesn't break itself.
Yeah.
And then we take it down to the golf course car park to test the arm,
To make sure it self-rights.
make sure it could self-right, which it
Yes.
did. It passed the test.
Yeah.
But then nothing compared to then putting in the arena for the first time. It's on the floor that isn't shredding its tires to bits.
Yeah.
Because the asphalt outside on the road especially just burns through Jasper's tires. It was then going, right, this is real. And you've got an opponent that you're not only having to beat them, they're trying to beat you.
Yeah.
And it's like every move you're making, they're trying to counter. Every move you're doing, they're trying to counter. And nothing could really prepare you for that.
Right. I mean, what was Jasper's first fight? What robot did
Our
Jasper
first
go
fight
against?
was Thunderchild. And you're going to hear Thunderchild a lot because since 2022, we've pretty much every event we've been at, they've also been there. And there's been several times where now Jasper and Thunderchild have met each other in competition. Either at the beginning of a bracket or like halfway through a bracket.
Or near the end.
We just keep to like we seem to just find each other at every competition we do.
And it has to be said that Joseph Jack Prophet is such a lovely guy. Like, you know, he again is another person that's in the UK that has driven, you know, or spread the word. He records just about every single fight he's been to, or even if he wasn't involved, he then posts the videos, edits them, puts them up on YouTube. So a big shout out to him and Team Ironclads, and you can find their videos on YouTube if you go to Team Ironclads.
It's Thunderchild and Jasper. It's like opposites in that fight, where you've got Thunderchild, which has been around for years at that point. Joseph's just so experienced with it. And then Jasper's just sitting in a corner with a new setup. It's like we have faith in it working, but you never know. I hadn't driven in a fight then.
Yeah.
It was like, right, trial by fire, let's just send it and see what happens.
And it worked.
Yeah. And then we win that fight. We win our second fight with them as well. And then we go hammer time. We then have the fun, right, we've never had to take Jasper apart under pressure before.
In a hurry, yes.
So we do that. We take half the weapon out. We repair the other half that was fixable, throw it back together, and then it goes in for another fight. So.
Yeah, it did all right. You know, we didn't. There was definitely no disgracing ourselves. You know,
Yeah.
we turned it around. It's not the first time. Well, it's the first time then, but it's not the first time since then that we've had to turn the robot around. But I'm sure we'll get onto that later.
Yeah. it was like, for our first event, it went really well. Lots of new experiences. We were definitely just hungry for more after that. It was like, right, we've had a taste of this. It was like, even on the van ride back home, it was going, right, we can do this with Jasper, we can change this. I want this, I want that. Oh yeah, the weight limit exists. We can't have all that, so we've got to change parts of Jasper that we never thought we would have to change and all
But
that.
don't worry, I can save weight. I can put holes in
There's a
things.
lot of weight-saving holes in Jasper. There's a bit of Swiss cheese at the moment.
Swiss cheese and titanium. Amazing stuff.
So how much has the design of Jasper changed since then? Like, what have you added?
So for our first competition, the old lifting arm was not as sophisticated as one. This one's not too sophisticated, but it was literally just box section, a bit of cut box section, so it was kind of wedgy, and then 2 tiny bits of steel on the end of it kind of be forks, but they bent almost immediately.
Yeah.
And we spent most of that event when we weren't ripping Jasper apart, just trying to resharpen them or unbend them.
Unbend them and then...
They've got
grind
nothing on the chunky bits of steel now and HDP on the front of the lifting arm.
And this is not the... There's been several evolutions of the arm in between, because that arm, the first arm, also suffered from... the angles on it were quite steep. Certainly after your first section of the fork, the next section was really steep in comparison to now. Now it flows with the actual natural angles of the robot. And once you get underneath it, you tend to sort of glide or get an opponent further up. And the further up they go, the better it is, because you get far more purchase on them. Yeah. And the reason we have to have long forks is because we can lift far too much weight at very long distance. But if you do that without the forks and actually try and get the forks underneath them, we will turn Jasper over. Or you will. You will turn Jasper over. So it's the whole front end of Jasper's evolved over time.
Yeah.
The forks now aren't nearly as chunky, but they do exactly what you want to do. They're very ground hugging. They're good at getting underneath robots, or at least for the vast majority of time. Certainly in 2024, they worked extremely well. The arms evolved. We're now on this arm is the one I refer to as the fork. We do have the spade arm as well, which came before the fork, and at the time that became quite a popular favourite with you.
Yeah.
And now you're very much
this
fork.
is currently the favourite
You are
child.
the fork arm is your favourite, but we still have the spade. It's still available. It still went to Abu Dhabi as a spare part, just in case. It's subtle little changes, even with this most up-to-date rendition of the fork, is that we've got polycarbonate on top to increase the surface area, particularly, and all the angles kind of match that initial getting them an opponent on the forks and just driving them up the robot. It all just then kind of seamlessly goes, as opposed to the first rendition of the arm that I made, which was done with cardboard aided design, and it came out exactly as it was shaped in cardboard. But then I could see the deficiencies quite soon,
The
particularly
first
after
arm was
our first.
designed to be simple and easy to make.
It was simple and easy to
This
make.
one's taken that, and while it's still, I'd say, easy to make, it's a lot more refined. And then other upgrades we did with Jasper from 2022 was only 2-wheel drive, which we found when you would lift an opponent or when firing the hammer, it would pick the 2 front drive wheels off the ground. So Jasper couldn't move. So that was a terrible.
Or if an opponent underneath you, suddenly your front wheels are off the ground. They're your driving wheels, and now you're onto your just freewheeling wheels at the back, and somebody can just go push you right across the arena without any resistance.
So switching to 4-wheel drive was the biggest upgrade from 22 to 23. Because we came back to Robo Riots the following year with Jasper on 4-wheel drive, putting it into the arena for the first time there and going, oh, this drive's amazing. Where was this last year? It's like never going back to 2 wheels again.
Yeah, we changed the tyres as well. We went expensive. We went AGV, automated robots, the same sort of robots that you would see in fancy warehouses, picking up materials and autonomously transporting from one place to another. We went down the AGV wheels, which are fantastic on really good surfaces. But arenas can be quite brutal, and unfortunately have robots trying to hit you as
Yeah.
well. Which
We
The
were
tyres
wearing
don't
through
like
those tires faster than our budget could keep up.
yes. So again, that was another evolution. Had to rethink the tyre situation. So we did change in
Something ever so slightly cheaper.
2024. Yeah, right.
To
It was
lawnmower tires.
lawnmower
Okay.
tyres. Yeah.
So we go through, in some cases, one full set per fight.
Mhm.
However, well, it's like £5 to tenner per tire.
Yeah, they are sandwiched together. There is a lot of work that goes into prepping them from being tyres that you can do a hot swap on a lawnmower to a tyre that's now suitable for a robot, which has got a drive gear on it. It's got a pulley to transition the drive from the front to the rear. The rear has a pulley as well that's machined, and it's got a hub on the inside of the robot that's lightened down to give it the same lineup and distance on the shaft as its front, so that there's good alignment with the belt for drive. But other than that, the tyres, they've lasted well. Depending on where you've been, we can go through
Definitely
no
depends on the
sets,
depends on
no
the floor.
sets, several sets.
And if there is an immersion in the arena with those evil
Yeah.
barbs on the top of their
Yeah.
robot, then not only snag our drive belts and get them all tangled, they have the audacity to put holes in the wheels, rip them apart.
So they have a lifter that like puts you onto these barbs.
No, they've got just
Daniel
a really.
puts
They've
himself
got a
there.
no.
He
They've
drives
got
on
they've
top.
got a really low wedge on the front of
okay.
it, and it's almost like razor blades on
Okay,
the front of
yeah.
it, just massive razor blades, and they get under you, and their whole lifting arm kind of throws you forward like that.
Right, I see.
But on that arm, there's a bunch of just sharp spikes and barbs,
Yeah.
and they're perfect for just hooking onto our drive belts or just getting where we don't want them to get into the tires. The tires are only lawnmower ones; they're hollow.
Yeah,
So once you
yeah.
put a hole in them, it's like
They will shred.
game over.
I see.
But saying that, every time we learn a lesson.
For everyone else, the lawnmower tires are perfect.
Oh,
Just immersion specifically.
but we've learned lessons from immersion. We now we have blocks of solid plastic that are machined out so that protect the drive belts. So just from pesky robots which have snagging barbs, so you don't get tangled up on top of them.
Yeah.
The idea is not to drive on top of someone's robot as well, but if you do, then we're in a lot better position now. But again, it's the constant evolution. We haven't sat back on our laurels and just gone, well, that works, that's it. No, that worked really well. How can we improve it? That didn't work so well, or that's getting really expensive. How do we keep on replacing them? Or we have to come up with an alternative and weight as well, staying within the limits for the weight. It's a challenge.
Jasper is forever dancing on that 110 kilo weight limit.
Yes.
It's I think the last event we were at for Robots Live, I think we weighed in at 109.8. So 200 grams under that weight limit.
Which I feel gutted about, because that 200 grams could have gone on something else.
Has there ever been something that you wanted to improve that you're like, this is going to make such a big difference, it's going to be amazing, but just hasn't worked in the way you thought it would?
Out of all the improvements we've made so far, even the subtle little things that we thought, just adding the titanium onto the side wheel guards to protect the wheels, or protect the motor, I should say. And up until Abu Dhabi, we've scratched the paint. We went pretty much two years.
No upgrades gone wrong so
Nice.
far, which has been quite nice.
Yeah.
It's some of it, like adding the titanium to the sides of the side armor, was arguably over-engineered or not over-engineered, just overkill for sportsmen.
Yeah.
However,
Absolutely.
then
vital
going
for
into Abu
full combat.
Dhabi,
Yeah.
it suddenly became like perfect for that situation.
Full combat is just totally a whole new experience, but and it proved to be the right decision at the end of the day. Did we lose a motor? No. Did we lose a side? Yes, and some damage. But yeah.
Yeah, it worked pretty well from what we could see.
Yeah.
Is there any like big changes you're planning in the future, or are you kind of just constantly refining this design that you have now?
I think Jasper's almost reached a point of you can't evolve too much more without redesigning the entire chassis.
Yeah.
Because we bought Jasper in 2019 and we're like, right, everything, this is our heavyweight now, we're going to design every upgrade around it. And now it's almost you'd have to change the chassis around the upgrades instead.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to. I think Jasper, I like it as it is. It's competitive for a sportsman.
Yeah.
If I wanted to design something new, it would be a new heavyweight. New weapon, probably. Because I think we've not perfected, but we've, for Jasper specifically, has refined its electric lifter setup.
Yeah.
And if I was to design a new robot, I would have a completely new weapon.
I bet the only thing I can think of, it's something that a lot of robots have gone through already, not that long ago, is the brushless for motors. Currently, Jasper still runs on old technology, old, fairly expensive motors and speed controllers, so they're
surprisingly
all
reliable though.
Considering the lessons learned from a lot of teams and individuals over the years, and amazingly, when you say that we run on Amflow motors with Vector BB speed controllers, some of the reactions you get from the seasoned roboteers going, "You're what? You're why?"
Just people recounting their horror stories with those of them just failing in spectacular ways or just for apparently no reason.
Yeah.
But I think the nice thing about running motors that are just years old is, and also kind of coming onto the scene late, is everyone's tested it. They found the limits of them. They pushed them too far, and then had to take a few steps back. And now with Jasper, we've kind of just taken the lessons that they've learned, applied it to Jasper, tweaked a few things for our specific use case.
Yeah.
Like we've got the drive motors on a different setup to the weapon ones, of course.
Yeah.
That's one thing we actually changed from 2022. Was after that event, we decided to open up Jasper again because we needed to put a new speed controller in because the weapon blew one side. And in doing so, we found that both the weapon and the drive were on the same setup. They were only going 50 amps to each motor, and also only at half throttle. So there was an immediate, right, we can just double the power by putting it to 100% throttle instead of 50%.
Yeah.
And then we thought, well, the drive was good, but it could be slightly more powerful. So we then bumped that up to, I think, is it 65 amps now on the drive?
You had a bit of testing and then decided
the drive had a lot of playing around, where we went to one event, I think around 75 amps, and then found out that was causing too much just wheel spin.
Yeah.
The tires just couldn't handle it, so then we bring it back down to about 50. We're like, nah, that's a bit slow, that's a bit sluggish. So then pushing it back up to 60 was kind of the sweet spot for that.
Yeah.
And then the weapon, it only being at 50 amps per side half throttle, we doubled it to full throttle. And then we're like, right, let's bump that all the way up to I think 135 amps per side. So it went from in 2022 being like just we're going to tip you over kind of lifter. It's not really going to pick you up or anything. To then going into 2023 where we were just properly able to throw opponents and fridgies. Getting to bouncing fridgies off the ceiling at Robo Riots was a highlight. Going, right, that change definitely worked. We're keeping it that way.
And then it carried on through the 2024 season, which was particularly successful for Jasper and yourself, obviously, going and taking part in a new event from a very tried and tested company that did Robots Live. They teamed up with Mech Plus channel, and they came up with a new competition in 2024, which was Mech Mania. So we entered that. There was 3 heats, which fortunately we managed to make all the heats, and then there was a final but you'd have to accrue
Yeah, the
enough
16
points.
best performing robots across the first 3 events
Okay.
got taken to the final and then put in a bracket in order of like seeding.
Yeah.
So Jasper having gone for all 3 events, and we scored 3 knockouts across those fights. So we maxed out on our point score. So I think Jasper was seeded 1.
Yeah.
Tectonic, which also, like Jasper, got 3 knockouts, but I think we did ours faster. So they got
Right.
seeded 2nd, and then all the way down to 16. So you have robots that say maybe lost a couple fights, but then won one. Or if they lost their fights, they've taken it to the judges at least. So like every win, how you win is weighed differently. How you lose is weighed differently.
Yeah.
So then by the end of those 3 events, you had your 16 best performing robots. They go.
Out of how many total were
I
you?
believe 30 was
about
the
30 heavyweights across all of the heats. When you total up all the robots that were there across 3 heats, there would be 30 different robots in total. So to do that was, I think, I would say that was our breakout year where we really sort of turned heads.
So
Before
that was the first year we've probably gotten to do
Yeah.
the UK live scene, because we'd only been to Ireland, which, while
Yeah.
very, very similar, you're missing a lot of big names like Eruption, Tectonic,
Yeah.
a lot of Brit flippers aren't going over to Ireland.
So we did 2022, 2023 as Ireland exclusively. That one-off weekends on each year, and we had a couple display weekends in a pub car park in Wolverhampton. And then 2024 was the big year. That was the breakout year. That was a full season. We even managed to slip in an extra event really early in the season, which was good because it was a bit of a shakedown as well. And we got to join Craig Collias and his team, Team Same, or Team Divinity as it is known as, and Extreme Robots. We went to one event with that, and then we did the series of 3 heats, and we made it to the final.
Yeah. The best part of that was definitely having events almost, especially late in the year, where they were kind of back to back. There was only a month between them.
Yeah.
So beforehand, doing only one event 22, one event 23, you kind of you don't forget, but you kind of lose
You
kind
lose
of
your
all
vision.
experience.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So then going into Drive the Robot the next year, it's like you've got to kind of relearn it quite quickly.
Yeah.
With doing events back to back to back, you really learn the quirks of the robot. Every robot drives different. Jasper has its own quirks. It's some good, some bad, and it's finding out like even just exactly where we want our opponent to sit on the arm before firing it.
Yeah.
It's like, how far do we want to throw them? Do we want to throw them straight up? Do we want to throw them forward? Do you want to suplex them all the way over the top? We could kind of figure that out by just basically doing, I think, was it 11 fights, like over like 3 months ish.
Yeah, well, you had one tournament fight per heat. You also entered into what's called whiteboard matches, which are non-tournament, but they're good fun, and being multiple robots as well, which is a bit different. Rather than having one contender to deal with, there was one fight we went into, and there was 11 heavyweights.
11 in one
That must have
arena.
been a massive arena.
It was chaotic.
You explain that to anybody that's American or who is a fan of BattleBots. Having 11 heavyweight robots in the arena at once, it's chaos.
And say what you will about sportsmen, when you put 11 of them in there, you're getting damaged.
Yes.
You don't need a spinner for that.
Yeah, you can't.
You have implosion, and it's just going around hitting everything.
You can't keep your front to the target all the time. When you might be concentrating on one robot, there's 10 others that are likely to be behind you or at your side.
Oh yeah, you say Jasper would like scoop someone up and just ram them in the corner, and then there'd be like 2 other heavyweights just following Jasper into
ramming
the corner
you into the
to then
corner.
hit us.
Yeah.
It's just like a sandwich. It's like a
Yeah.
car crash in slow motion. Yeah.
In these like multiple robot fights, is there like alliances or teams being made? And
I mean,
that sort of
some people have, friends or people
of
they've
course.
competed with a long time, and when you've got, say, 3-4 opponents, you could, if you wanted to, stick with your friends and all that.
But I imagine those
But
don't last.
Those don't last.
Yeah.
Eventually, you do have to turn on each other.
Yeah.
And sometimes you gotta take not a cheap shot, but a very strategic shot. Say your friend has just scooped another robot up and taken them to the low wall and thrown them out. Oh wait, they're now parked next to the low wall. Let's just charge in behind them and get them over that.
That would never happen.
Well, one thing I found in more recent events is actually Jasper being not as much an underdog anymore, but we're definitely not at that level of eruption, immersion, and all that. We went into a fight quite recently, which was a freeway rumble with Apollo, which is Robot Wars champion from Series A.
Yeah.
It is just a big name. It's on all the posters for Robots Live. Everyone knows who it is.
Yeah.
And it was us and Thunderchild going in against it as a freeway fight. And I turned to Joseph before the fight and was like, do you want to just take Apollo out before having to deal with each other? And he was like, yep. And what happened was just basically a minute of just perfect tag team where Thunderchild was like to scoop up Apollo, put it in the corner, and then as soon as Apollo starts getting turning to put their weapon onto Thunderchild, Jasper charges in behind it, hits them. As soon as Apollo turns to us, Thunderchild gets them back and forth. Eventually knock them out, and then we do turn on each other, which is I like to think was entertaining. Everyone expects Apollo to win, so why not go send it?
I always find it entertaining just watching. Yeah, the rumbles are something unique, this side of the Atlantic compared to America, and it's something that it's very enjoyable. It's just mass chaos.
It sounds.
They're anything but predictable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got your first out of the arena as well in a multi-way rumble.
Yeah, it was the audience robot Rabbit. M8, I think.
Rabbit.
We're just charging Jasper a massive robot, and Rabbit happened to be the one that ended up on the end of the arm. And it's like, right, we're going full send towards the wall anyway. Fire the weapon, clean over, and then we just go back into the fight, and then Jasper gets thrown about of it. Jasper throws other people out of it. Good fun. There's nothing more fun than a rumble, in my opinion.
Have you ever fought in a rumble bigger than 11 robots?
Nope. But I would love to.
Are we likely to fight in a rumble that's bigger than 11? Maybe not. That might be, as far as rumbles go, that could be the pinnacle, and we've hit that very early. Yeah. Well, but you never know. We're open to it. If anybody wants to turn up with 11 more robots, and we happen to be there with one, and that'll be 12, and we're quite you're up for it.
It's 12 Ironaws versus Jasper.
Yeah, we can take them all.
Yeah.
So I mean, the arena for that must have to be a lot bigger than like the one we saw in Abu Dhabi, for example.
Not really.
No,
really?
It's just packed.
Yeah, it's a bit longer, and then maybe just a little narrower.
Okay.
But I'd say there's slightly more space.
I mean, did the arena hold up?
Oh, of course. Right. Robots Live Arena has no safety. Fortunately, we would not do that if we did not believe in the arena. Robots
especially
Live.
with that many.
Of course.
Robots, yeah.
Well, and with sportsmen, of course, that's easier to contain. There's never going to be that high kinetic shrapnel, especially.
Yeah.
But Robots Live Arena, perfectly safe.
I have a great affinity with the Robots Live Arena.
Yeah, he would know. He likes to volunteer to assemble and disassemble.
Well, I'd like to think I know that arena quite well by having to taking part and putting assembling and dismantling again at the end of a weekend's event. But I have great confidence in that arena. It's Robots Live has stood us really well, from 2024, 2025 as well. Some of the 2025 matches are now getting released onto Mech Plus as well. So if anybody wants to go and watch any of the matches with Jasper or any other robot, there are other robots.
He makes a few appearances.
Yeah, there definitely is a few appearances. Yes.
So throughout these 3-ish years they've been doing this, what have the main highlights been? I imagine the like initial Robo Rides is up there.
Absolutely, the first event always a highlight.
Yeah.
One thing as well with doing Mechmania, I never thought we'd get to do a Robot Wars equivalent. And with there being no big TV show in the UK, there's currently not one in America, with like BattleBots kind of being on a hiatus.
Yeah.
It's where I never thought I'd get to do robot fight in front of an audience for a first thing. I never thought I'd get to do this at all.
Being interviewed.
Yeah. But then getting a camera pointed at you and you got to do your interview and all your fights are getting filmed properly then it's like win or lose, you then get brought out in front of the audience and you get to talk about it with them. And the whole crew with Mechmania and all that, they're just so nice. Easy to work with. There's no kind of forcing you to play a character in a way, or there's no malice, like they'll like edit you to sound awful and evil. They could take anything out of context, but they don't.
Yeah.
And like anything that they do, go right. We'll make you be a wee bit of a villain for this fight. It's done with a bit of class. There's no we're going to paint anyone out to be a terrible person.
Yeah.
And which was a fear for me, just watching TV in general. Is like you see people get painted in certain ways, and then it turns out they were nothing like that at all. So it was always in the back of my mind, and to have that just fear squashed immediately, seeing the first season of that and everything coming like afterwards. It was a fun experience.
And then obviously our latest high was going to Abu Dhabi. When we thought our season would all finish for 2025, all of a sudden a rather unexpected email lands in the inbox inviting us to an international 16 robots event in Abu Dhabi just before Christmas. And that was fun, to say the least.
Yeah, I have a question for you two now.
Yeah.
What did you think when I was like, hey guys, we've been summoned to Abu Dhabi, do you guys want to come with us for this event? It's like completely covered and all that. Take it as a free holiday.
A bit shocked at first. I was like, wait, are you serious? Like, this is gonna be, this is sick. Obviously, like, had to think it through first. I'm like, okay. But yeah, decided to just like, why not? Might as well. It'd be a cool experience.
It could be a once in a lifetime thing.
Absolutely.
Could be, and it was absolutely. Yeah, it was sick.
I remember I read the message when I was in bed about to go to sleep, and like I said to myself, I'll probably look at this in the morning, but then I couldn't go to sleep because it sounded so exciting and like such like a unique experience. So I thought it was a fantastic opportunity. It was really
I'm glad that I'm the only one that didn't, lost sleep over the fact that
it's such a crazy message to receive.
Really? Are you sure? No, they must have got the wrong team here for a start.
I mean, I think we both had a great time.
Oh,
absolutely, yeah.
Very fun. A very unique experience. It was like a first for both of us.
Because this was your guys'
very first
experience seeing these robots in person.
Yeah.
You've heard me yap about them way too much. I'm kind of almost glad that you guys have now seen it in person. And I'm not exaggerating when I'm like, these weapons, especially the spinners, are just...
When seeing them in person, it's terrifying.
It's so scary.
Like the actual noises they make, because in recordings you can't really feel how like much impact and how strong the robots are. But actually hearing them in person and how loud.
Even them just sitting in the garage area or like the pits area, not moving, and them the team's working on them, they look so terrifying.
And even them going to test for the first time.
And you hear the hum in the arena.
You hear the hum, and I'm like, you guys should come see this.
The death hum. When you've got a robot, 110 kilos, 113 kilo robot with a large mass of metal spinning around anywhere like 8,000 RPM, and it's the noise. It's the noise for someone that anybody that's not actually been arena seat side or right next to the polycarbonate walls, when that sort of thing just ramps up, and
sounds a bit like a jet engine.
It does.
It sounds like the plane that we took off. Get there in the first place.
And like being that close, like the seats were a lot closer than I expected to the arena. Being that close to the robots, Amazing. And on that note, we'll end part 1 of this episode here. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and join us soon for part 2, where we'll talk a lot more about the Games of the Future event itself.